Alright, I'm in the car, riding home. I just saw Rise of Skywalker. But what did I think about it? Well, I don't really know. Let me think. So, I would describe this movie, full spoilers by the way, I would describe this movie as great amounts of fan service for Palpatine fans, of which I'm one. Palpatine's a top 3 character, and he was the final boss of Return of the Jedi, but Return of the Jedi kind of took him out. Kind of surprising. I mean, Return of the Jedi has a really great fight at the end, don't get me wrong. But, you know, it was kind of more Vader's story than Palpatine, so I'm glad they got their act together and got the final boss the moment in the spotlight that he deserved. And I also thought this movie was better than The Last Jedi in many ways. Mostly that it wasn't dumb and boring. But I could feel the footprint of The Last Jedi in that the movie felt really rushed and sometimes felt like a train wreck with some plot holes, such as Luke's lightsaber somehow not being broken, and some really weird scenes like Leia dying randomly when, I don't know, that didn't make any sense. Like maybe Rey killed her accidentally, or I don't know. It was not clear and not very well telegraphed on one of many rushed scenes that didn't make any sense. And there was a whole bunch of stuff. I guess this is how people felt about Return of the Jedi in a way, and that like the whole beginning is like, alright, come on, get to the good stuff. Except I think a lot of the good stuff in Return of the Jedi is the beginning, with Jabba the Hutt. I think maybe this movie could have learned from how Return of the Jedi only has 2 settings in the whole film, Tatooine and Endor's moon. This movie kind of went all over the place. But I had a good time. But I was also cross because I was feeling that Rey and Poe, gotta wash my mouth of that one. I was thinking Rey and Finn were finally gonna have their moment, and Abrams was gonna right the wrongs of Johnson and put Rey and Finn together, and it was gonna happen. And then she fucking kisses Kylo Ren at the end out of nowhere. And I mean, I was okay with Kylo Ren being shipped with Rey in The Last Jedi, but this movie was totally on the Finn and Rey boat with me. So I feel like I was kind of backstabbed right at the end, like out of nowhere. But then she just goes back to Finn like nothing happened. Like she didn't just smooch the villain who turned good, but I don't think his heel turn was earned. Kylo Ren. I mean, I wanted him to turn good. And I think the movie did a really good job of drumming up, oh, is Rey gonna turn bad, or is Kylo gonna turn good? Maybe both. That was done pretty well. I kind of got Metropolis vibes. I thought Rey was going to take the throne, and then Kylo would have to strike her down. It would be really dramatic, and Finn would be sad, and it was going to be really cool, but they didn't do that. And there was a Disney death. Rey died, but she came right back. And then Kylo died, and that was not a Disney death. But I don't think the movie's title of Rise of Skywalker was really earned, because this was really a Palpatine film. It's kind of like, fuck the Skywalkers. Kylo Ren, he's a B-tier character in this movie. Leia, I was surprised what they did with the deleted footage of Leia. They got some good mileage out of it. But, you know, she just randomly dies. The true stars of the movie were Palpatine and Palpatine. So it should have been called rise of Palpatine. And then at the end, all the Skywalkers are dead. So you're like, why is this movie called Rise of Skywalker? And it's just because Rey, like, takes the name of Skywalker after looking at the ghosts of Luke and Leia and not Anakin. So that was kind of dumb. And there was a little bit of hype about a cameo from the Clone Wars and Rebels, and if it was there, it was... I mean, I heard Ahsoka's voice, like, talking to Rey, but I was like, oh, that was dumb.
I think that's it.
Whoever drummed that up was an idiot. Other than that, I thought Poe was tolerable in this movie. I really hated him in the previous two, but he was kind of tolerable. I was like, all right, he's got some good lines, got some good scenes. I like his dynamic with Masked Lady, who really is just Vanitas from Kingdom Hearts. And I thought the movie did a good job of playing tribute to C-3PO. I thought he would die in the end. He didn't. But it felt like he would, because this was like, out of any movie, he would probably shown the most in this one. Maybe even more so than The Empire Strikes Back, which was kind of C-3PO's movie, or Return of the Jedi. This was a good movie for C-3PO. R2-D2 surprisingly was like nowhere to be found the whole time, but that's okay. I mean, I like R2-D2 a lot, but you know, that was okay. And Lando was fun, but yeah. And then Hux was like killed randomly. That was kind of disappointing. He's like, oh, by the way, I'm the spy. I just want to see Ren fall, and then he's killed, and we never know why. It just came out of nowhere.
Well, because they knew it was the spy. That's why they killed him.
Yeah, I know, but you know. So the movie's definitely rushed. Well, like, the production values were not rushed. It didn't feel like a rushed film in that sense. It was rushed in the same way that Revenge of the Sith was rushed, where they flubbed the second movie of the trilogy. So most of the movie has to spend all this time, like, covering ground that the second movie should have covered. And it's to the detriment of the film, but it was definitely better than Revenge of the Sith. I would put it in the same tier that I put Solo and The Force Awakens, which is a little lower than the OT and Phantom Menace and Rogue One, but higher than The Last Jedi and the other two prequel films. I think overall I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars, which is what I gave The Force Awakens. Its strengths are different from The Force Awakens. Its weaknesses are different from The Force Awakens. But it was cool, and as a Palpatine fan, it was satisfying. There was some good puppet mastering. He was the big bad. He got even more powerful. Whoa, his lightning was crazy. Oh, and speaking of lightning, that scene where Rey kills Chewbacca was a shocker. That was like, what? One of the most awesome plot twists. And of course, Chewbacca really lived, which was a bit of a bummer. Except Chewbacca was like really cool. I was calling him overrated to my friends earlier, and it was pretty good in this movie. And I have to go. So that's, I guess, all I have to say about that. Pretty rushed. Just getting my thoughts down. And I hope you enjoy the film. It's a goodie. It kind of leaves the sequel trilogy as kind of a bumpy ride, but if you're watching this, I hope you enjoyed the film, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Season 7 of Clone Wars will be upon us before we know it.